Yeah, that looks right. Awesome. Yeah, right, Scott? It was a little, Mother Nature was teasing us with good weather on Friday, and then it's back to the, well, it was down in the 20s here. I can't imagine what it was like in Maine. All right, good morning, everybody. We're going to take a look at some pre-market action today. DER has a incredible gap up from Friday. If we look at the 5-minute trend, the last 5 days, just range trading in the quote-unquote waiting for news pattern. The 5-minute chart, pretty much just a beautiful triangle breakout, riding the 9 EMA on the 5-minute. We're hovering around that 50% retracement level, which is colored dark blue, making it hard to see. Let me fix that. This is an old chart that I haven't messed with in a while. There we go. And I just left the lines up, and I took a look at TrendSpider on DER, and what I have noticed is that I had to go out to the weekly time frame to try to see what kind of trend lines or potential moving averages might be looking to spoil the fun. Where's the major breakout zones? We have one at 205. There's a weekly 100 moving average. Everything else weekly in terms of our daily and weekly moving averages are, we've just completely blown them out of the water. So I'll look at the 1 hour chart versus the daily chart. You can see these are all the daily. These dotted trend lines are all daily resistance zones. So we broke out of those. There's the 200 SMA down there. So we broke out. We have to go to the weekly next to try to find support resistance. And I'm using the 1 hour because if I go to a 5-minute chart, we're not going to get enough of a view with TrendSpider. And if I went to 4 hour, the 4 hour candles haven't updated yet. So you see the price remove back, it's back down below $1. But we've pretty much broken out of, let's see if the 2 hours updated. Yeah, the 2 hours not updated either. So you got to go to the 1 hour. And you can see I'm using the beta version of TrendSpider, so if you see anything weird or errors compared to yours, just know that I'm using the staging site, so there might be some updates and things they're doing. But so we're in a fresh hourly candle, and we are above that weekly 100 SMA at $2. So that thing's right at $2. So we're gonna really pay attention to $2. If there's any type of back test today at $2, we want to be prepared for that event to happen. That's a good psychological number. Again, we're pretty overbought. This run has, extended itself, pulled back to this 90 MA and bounced again. There's a lot of traders taking these, buying this dip, and now we've printed some candles above resistance. So I see 250 and 215 as a major range. There's actually really this whole 50-cent range on DER from 250 down to $2. We're gonna have to really watch that closely. Let me see if I have the. You guys should be able to chat on YouTube, just in case if anyone's able to chat. Maybe say hello, just so I know that's working. So yeah, DER is definitely high in the list. Possible, dip buys at 215 or even $2. There is a angular support that is back here. Would be nice to get some type of back test of this trend line. We're starting to get a pretty nice up channel on it. We're in, closer to the top. This could cup and handle up here, break out, but all these fib lines that I have on my chart, 288, 250, we'll be looking for possible upside moves today. Looks like one of our traders, Red, already in that early bird gets the worm. Hey guys, thanks for saying hello in YouTube. All right, so that's DER. Let's take a look at some other decent runners. So PHAS, let's take a look at this daily chart. So this daily chart on PHAS was getting some decent 3-day action. Let's see, we got some major up here. And a lot of times when I start drawing these lines, it's like, let's just go mechanical with it and look at this upper range and find the lower daily range. And there you go. And you can see we broke through all of those retracements. We're back up at these upper end retracements. Let's see, it hasn't. It looks like there's nice support forming right here at 680 or so. 680. Let's check out. And this is something. This is a normal routine. If you guys aren't familiar with TrendSpider, you can check them out on our YouTube. On our website, we've got some really great videos and blog posts on them. And I'll go through and look at these different time frames and compare. Let's see, let's look at the hourly versus the daily. So we broke out of all that daily resistance zone around 470. Very high wave candles here. You know, this is one that after a high wave like this and this type of pullback, I would look for a larger back test. This thing to pull back a little bit harder. Let's look at the 5-minute versus daily. Yeah, this thing could potentially go back and fill its gap quickly. Let's see if there's any weekly trend lines. Wow, there's no weekly trend lines. Not enough candles for the weekly. All right. I'm just comparing different. Let's do 1 hour versus 4 hour. Yeah, so there really isn't too much in terms of resistance for this one, but it's already pulling back pretty hard. So I would look for this to potentially back test this 680 level. Possibly $6. Possibly $6. That was the 100% retracement level on our daily fib time frame. So just a simple high-low retracement. You know, we're way up here, so this could easily pull back a little bit. So I'll be looking at this one to pull back a little bit today. Maybe this will be a more interesting setup later. I still think DER is where most people are going to be watching. Hey, startup, awesome. Thanks for chiming in. So let's take a look at DERM. So DERM has a 10% short squeeze. So 10% of the shares were held short, according to Trade Ideas. So we take a look at Trade Ideas in the morning. We're looking at, you know, potential short squeezes. We're looking at the price float, how much volume, how big is the gap, what's the average volume been like, what's the social media sentiment, is there a lot of prints? So DERM has a lot of prints, average daily prints. There's a lot of transactions. That's typically a good sign that traders are already enjoying trading this one. And then you got earnings date, and then this is the percentage move away from the 8-day SMA from the close from the previous day, and the 20-day SMA. So kind of like the 920 EMA SMA, very similar to those numbers. These are all for day trading, so anything we look at in the pre-market, we're looking specifically for day trade setups. And let's take a look at TrendSpider. So this is beautiful. Within a few clicks, I can see that we've hit some daily resistance at 1369 and pulled back, and you can see all these hourly wicks really respecting this trend line up here, right? So you can double click and lock that line. It stays on your chart. And that is a daily trend line that we're going to have to watch. We're well above our 200 day. Our 200 day is way down here at 972. And then we can switch to maybe a 5 minute versus the daily. And there we go. So you've got, this is the 5 minute candle setup. Potential double top through here. Remember, it had a lot of trouble in the above 1350, really. You know, there's no 5 minute candles that were really able to hang above that 1350. This looks like a double top. This could also turn into a kind of cup and handle if price consolidates up here in the 80s. But at this point, I'd be shy of going long above 1350, and I would love even a triple bottom back test off this 1122. So that could be a really good short on DERM. I'm going to add that for sure to the watch list for a pullback. And with TrendSpider, boom, you can just you can actually create these alerts, which it's giving me a hard time with. Let me see if it'll let me do it. It's because I'm using the beta right now. It's not letting me set the alert, so I'll have to switch over to the production. So let's see, 5 minute. Yeah, so you could see this cup and handling up here potentially, but if we don't get prints above really this 1357, that's pretty strong resistance. This could be building an ascending pattern. So a lot of times what I like to see, guys, are two bullish patterns line up. And I'd love to see a cup and handle up here. And then, of course, this is a flat top of an ascending triangle. So extend this line all the way over this way. Here's your flat top of the ascending triangle. You get price action building up here, and then the flat top breakout. Sometimes these cup and handles fail, and then they stay within the triangle, and then they either move up or move down. Sometimes a bearish pattern forms inside the ascending pattern. So you kind of have to just, you know, tweak your plan a little bit as more information, candlesticks print and unfold. All right, take a look at Snap. Somebody mentioned Snap, and this thing has been moving. So $13 is my target for Snap. It's not investment advice. Everything we're doing here is simply trading advice. You guys need to know your own risk management, entries and exits. But Snap broke out of this really nice wedge right here, and $13 is the 50% retracement, right? So here's a major high-low, falling wedge breakout, big cup and handle on the daily, broke out of it through a bullish wedge, and I would expect people to at least hold till 13. There's a lot of call sweepers that have been jumping in on Snap, and it's been looking really nice. It's got a great chart. So say what you want about the company, the chart is very bullish. So let's see. We looked at DERM, PHAS. I said I was going to look at one more, AMID. Then I'm going to slow it down a little bit. AMID. Wow, that thing really... Let's take a look at TrendSpider. See what we can see. All right, so we broke out of some daily resistance at $5. Let's look at... This is where I'll switch to like a 4-hour chart. Yeah, see, you broke out of this trend line. This has got some excitement. Breaking out of that angular resistance on volume. Let's see, there's some, you got some trend changes through here. There's also this support right through here. Once that cracked, that really changed. So let's see on a 5-minute chart. It's up around 570. And again, I'm also comparing TrendSpider hourly pre-market cleared the daily 100 SMA, broke all these angulars, and when we zoom out, Let's see if the 2 hour updated. No, it did not, because we're well above that. All right, let's do the 5 minute versus the daily. Yeah, see, that's the breakout right at 475. Pretty close to where I drew that angular trend line on the 4 hour chart. So with trading this one, this is tricky. This might even be a buy. It's probably a buyout, and I'm wasting my time. Let me take a look at the news. It looks like it. Yeah, my bad. I shouldn't even cover this one. Looking at this pattern, it definitely says buyout. All right, so this one's to be acquired 525, so there's really no interest in that at this point. Let's take a look at ACB. Yeah, ACB is a fun one. And then I'll do ECA real quick, and then I got to go, guys, because I got to stay in our regular trade room. ACB has been awesome above 850. It really needs to hold above 850 for the bull thesis to continue. I think I should show you better on a daily chart with TrendSpider. Let's look at a 4 hour. So we're in this rising channel right here. We're pretty close to this $10 psychological resistance. There's probably going to be some selling up here. You've got 4 hour and daily resistance both culminating up here. If you look at weekly resistance, right, it cleans it up pretty nice where there's really not much weekly resistance in the way. Right now it's all about this wedge. Here's the daily versus weekly. This $10 area is probably going to be an area where a trend starts to change. And if you're long, depending on your entry, you might look to take profit in case this back tests this trend line around 950. Now it might just back test 950 and then run, and then stay up in this upper channel. But really, for me, anything below 950, we could potentially go back down into the low 8s, which I would, depending on your entry, you wouldn't want to be holding in a situation like that. But if you're having trouble with support and resistance, you guys can always consult our good friend TrendSpider. I just posted the review in the YouTube chat, and it'll show you all these lines and uses mathematical formula to figure it all out. And once you get the hang of it, you're like, how did I trade without this? ECA daily chart looks like it's in a kind of a rising wedge, more of a kind of flatter one, not really aggressive. You've got that 100 SMA around 750. Is that the 100? Oh, that's the 20. Duh. The way it's moving, it's faster. So you've got the 20 EMA acting as resistance around 750. I would look for this to print above it, and you still have this angular resistance. This one's a little bit tougher to read, honestly. Let's look at the 4 hour. Yeah, there's so much resistance around 750. So you would get a decent breakout on ECA above 750. There's some room to run up to, it looks like, 840. But that big resistance is really the 20 EMA. It looks like on the weekly right there at 750. Yeah, that's the weekly. All right, guys, I'm going to hop off of YouTube and jump back into our regular trade room. I'm missing different sets of comments, and Creed looks like he's getting ready to stream too. So thanks for watching on YouTube, and I'm gonna cut it off now. We'll see you guys later.